Another weekend at the Grove. It's been pretty quiet. I thought it was going to rain a lot. They made it sound like there was going to be a bunch of flash flooding Noah's Ark stuff going on, but so far so good. I went over and visited the Tinley Creek sensor that tells us how much water is going to be flowing through the creek, how deep it's getting. Of course, the creek behind this fence doesn't get too much water, but back in the old days, on the old website, I had a little indicator, especially for first-time visitors, and to know whether the creek was passable or not at the time before they arrived. And I would use that sensor down the street as an indicator. Of course, they may say 2-3 feet, but based on their measurements, it would let me know if the creek was kind of dry or low or whatnot. So I'll throw in a few pictures here of what that sensor looks like. It's kind of cool. Looks like they got an old telephone line too patched into it. On another side note here, I ran into the guys that clean up the cemetery. I don't know if you can see some of the tire tracks, but got to talking with them, and one guy was reporting he had a weird ring in his ear. You think nothing too unusual about that, right? Everyone has ringing in the ear here and there. But his was short-lived, and it got me thinking that last weekend when I was here, standing in this very spot when it started for me, there was a constant tone. I don't know if it was a 1 kilohertz tone or whatever this was, but it was so consistent, and it was just like really kind of bothered me, like, what is that? And there were no insects going on at the time like you could probably hear now. It was just really, really quiet. And it went on for like an hour and eventually just kind of faded away. Something to think about. There are certain areas supposedly that have weird activity where you might start hearing these tones in your head or in your ear. I don't know, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just uneven air pressure, huh, when your ears are ringing? No, to me that was this was quite different. Very much different. Anyway, so if you're out here visiting and you hear those weird tones, just make a note of it, you know. It's kind of an odd thing.
Bachelors Grove.